Alright, hi guys. Today I'm going to be this week I'm going to be doing math a little bit differently. I am trying this new app, so all of our math lessons are going to be on this app rather than me trying to do it in the book. So we are starting chapter 10, and chapter 10 for math is all about data, is all about making graphs and looking at that data. So you're probably wondering, what is data? What is data? Some of you probably heard that word before, but data is basically information collected about people or things. So if you remember, on some of our check-ins, I've asked what's your favorite snack? What's your favorite pet? Those are all ways of collecting data. Because you've given me that, I have the data or the collection of information on what pets you like. So we're going to do a few easy graphs here to kind of show you what we're going to be doing this chapter. So in front of us is a picture graph. A picture graph is a graph that uses pictures. It's pretty easy, huh? So on this picture, or this graph, it's all about fruit we like. So it has 4 oranges for how many people like oranges, and 2 pears for how many people like pears. So 1, 2, 3, 4 people have chosen oranges, and 2 people have chosen pears. So our first question is, how many children chose pear? Well, we can see 2 kids chose pear. Number 2 says, circle the fruit that more children chose. Now, I wouldn't even have to count these to see that there's more oranges than there are pears. I can just visually see that. So I know that the answer is oranges. Now this is a tally chart. You guys know how to do tallies. I know you learned how to do that in 1st grade. So looking at this chart, this chart is telling us, is giving the data of colors we like. So it looks like 3 people like green, 6 people like red, and 8 people like blue. That is the data we can gather from this. It's showing that data of the colors that we like. So how many children chose red? Well, we can see that 6 children chose red. Which color did the fewest children choose? So fewest means the smallest amount. So the smallest amount chosen is green, because only 3 people chose green, and you can see that there's more votes for the other colors. So the color that was chosen the fewest is green. So now we're going to get into our actual lessons. This is what you're going to be doing your PMT on. So this lesson will be all about collecting data. So when I say collecting data, that is the information I'm gathering when I'm asking you, what is your favorite pet? What is your favorite ice cream? I'm collecting data on that. I'm getting that information from you guys as a whole. I also collect data when you guys do your grades and stuff. I collect that data. I see how well you're doing on that, the numbers that you guys are getting on those tests. So, this is just a model. This is showing a tally chart about favorite lunches. So if I took a survey, if I asked you guys, what is your favorite lunch? I would be collecting data. I can collect data or record the data with tally marks. Greg asked his classmates which lunch was their favorite. So he asked his classmates which lunch was their favorite, and they had to choose between pizza, sandwich, salad, or pasta. The tally marks in the tally chart show the children's answers. Each tally mark stands for one child's choice. So if we look at this tally chart, we see 4 kids chose pizza, 6 kids chose sandwich, 3 kids chose salad, and 5 kids chose pasta. That is the data I'm gathering from this chart here. So when I did that survey of what is your favorite pet, I asked you guys, which one was your favorite pet? And you had to choose between cat, dog, fish, or bird. So obviously, I'm not going to ask 10 classmates because I asked you guys all. So I'm going to jot down, I'm going to tally anyways, what were your favorites. So we had 5 of you chose cat. So those are my tally marks showing how many people chose cat. I had 14 kids chose dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 14 tallies for dog because 14 kids chose dog. 2 kids chose fish, and actually nobody chose bird. So I'm not going to put anything for bird because no tallies mean 0. So now we can look at that data and see what we can gather from this chart we just filled out. So number 2 says, how many classmates chose dog? Well, we can see 14 of you chose dog. Which pet did the fewest classmates choose? And we know fewest means the smallest amount. So for this one, I'm going to say bird because 0 people chose bird. That's the smallest amount. And our next question says, did more classmates choose cat or dog? How many more? Well, we can, even if we didn't count these up, we can just literally see, just visually, just looking at this quickly, we can see way more people chose dog. So more of you chose dog over cat. But our next question says how many more? And you know if it says how many more, we are going to subtract. So 14 kids chose dog minus the 5 kids that chose cat. And I know that answer is 9. So 9 more classmates chose dog over cats as their favorite pet. Now, I also asked you last week on Friday to do a survey of what is your favorite indoor game? Now, unfortunately, not everyone was able to vote, but I did get some votes, so I'm going to use those votes to fill this out. So, again, I'm going to tally those. So, 2 kids chose board game. So, I'm going to put 2 tallies for board game. Only 1 person chose card game. 1 person chose computer game. 3 people chose computer game. And 5 people chose puzzles. So now we're going to see what data we can gather from this chart. So number 6 says, how many classmates chose board game? We can see 2 classmates chose board game. Which game did the most classmates choose? Well, looking at our chart, we can see that the most that was chosen is puzzles, because 5 people voted for that. Number 8, did more classmates choose a card game or a computer game? We can see that it's a computer game, or computer games. And how many more means we're going to subtract. We need to subtract 3 minus 1, which is super easy. It's only 2. Only 2 more classmates liked computer games over card games. Which game did the fewest classmates choose? And that would have to be card games, because only 1 person voted for card games. So number 10, how many classmates did not choose a board game or puzzle? Explain how you know. Now, to figure this out, we're going to have to see first how many people did not choose. So we got to figure out which ones were not a board game or puzzle. So we're not looking at board game. We can look at the card game. And we can look at the computer game. We're not looking at puzzles because we're not going to count those ones because we want to see how many did not choose those. So we want to see how many people chose card or computer games. So we have 1 here and 3 for computers. So we're going to do 1 plus 3, which equals 4. So that means 4 people did not choose board games or puzzles. And then we also need to explain how we know that. So first, I'm going to put 4 people did not choose a board game or puzzle. But we also need to explain how we know that. How do we know that? How can we explain that? Well, unfortunately, I don't have enough room to explain this, but we did see that card games and computers equals 4, and those are the 2 that were not a board game or puzzle. So that means these are the people that didn't choose board game or puzzle. And it's only 4 people. All right, we're going to look at one last tally chart before you guys do your PMT. So this says, Mako asked her classmates to choose their favorite subject. She made a tally chart. So this is what Mako made after asking her classmates. How many more classmates chose math than reading? So we gotta see what's the total amount. First, let's see what the total amount is for each of those. So 6 people chose reading. 9 people chose math, and 10 people chose science. So we're trying to figure out how many more, meaning we're going to subtract, how many more classmates chose math than reading. Well, we're going to subtract 9 minus 6, which is 3. 3 more classmates chose math over reading. Now the next one says, write a question about the data in the chart. So we can ask any questions. So we were asking questions in the other charts. What's a question we could ask for this? Well, an easy one would be, actually, erase that. What subject was, I keep messing up. What subject had the most votes? So which subject had the most votes? Because it says, write your answers to your question. We can see science had the most votes. So our answer is science. All right, now you should be able to go do 10.1 PMT on your HMH player.